Good morning, all of you. Today we will be starting lesson 10 Financial Markets. Lesson 9 was Financial Management, and we learned that finance is something which is required by each and every business, without which the business cannot run, the business cannot prosper, the business cannot be started. And we learned that each and every stage of operating the business requires finance, whether it is related with diversification, or it is related with expansion, or it is related with modernization, or it is related with purchase of different types of assets, fixed assets, meeting the day-to-day requirement needs of the business, or for meeting out different types of payment obligations. For each and every aspect which is involved in business, there is need for funds, there is need for finance. And that is why finance is considered as the lifeblood of business. So each and every business organization tries to find out the source from where the finance can be generated. It keeps in mind that whatever source it procures for raising the funds, that source should be cheapest for the business organization, and also the risk which the business organization has to take for raising the funds should be under the control of the organization. So for raising funds, we see that business organization has the option of different types of financial markets, short term and long term financial markets, which plays a very important role and helps the business organization whenever they require funds. So in this chapter we will be talking about financial markets, the concept of financial market, the features of financial market, the functions of financial market, the types of financial market, and the various you may say financial instruments which is operated through which the financial markets may come into you may say accessibility for the business organizations. We'll be learning that also. Apart from that, we will be also learning about the various regulations in the financial market. So we start with the concept. And what is financial market? Before understanding the definition of financial market or the meaning of financial market, we have to understand how this financial market operates. So if you see the figure which I have tried to project, where we see that on one side there is households and the other side there are business firms, and in between the households and the business firms are the banks and the financial markets. Households, they are considered as savers, whereas business firms, they are considered as the investors. So you can see households, they are savers, and business firms, they are investors. And between households and business firms are the banks and the financial market. So what do the savers do? That we have to understand. And how do the funds reach the business firms which they require for investment purposes? That is through the intermediary, and that intermediary is the bank or the financial market. So let us understand the system. Now each and every business is a part of economic system, and this economic system has two sectors. One is the household sector, and the second is the business firm. So what we see is that whenever The savers, they have savings, who are the households, they deposit in banks or in financial markets. They try to invest in financial markets. So through banks and financial markets, which mobilizes funds from the households, the business firms contact the banks or the financial markets to avail funds which they require for investment purpose. As a result, we see that banks and financial markets, they turn out to be banks and financial markets, they turn out to be the, you may say, intermediary or the connecting link between the households and the business firms. And this connecting link only helps the savings which is done by the households to be transferred to the business firms, which they invest in the businesses. And in this way, we see that the resources which are considered always scarce, they are being properly utilized for productive purposes, which leads to economic development. So we'll be learning, when we talk about this, that in the economic system, when there are two sectors, household and the business firms, there is allocative function which is carried out. And that allocative function is carried out by the financial market. And this financial market mobilizes the funds and directs the flow of the funds from the savers to the investors. And by doing so, it performs the allocative functions. So what is allocative function? Sometimes it is asked in the exam. So allocative functions means allocation of funds by mobilizing it from the savers and directing it to the business firms whenever they require it, so that they can utilize it for productive purposes. And it has two consequences. This allocative function is performed by the financial market, which has two consequences. One consequence is related with the savers, another consequence is related with the investors. The savers, because of this allocation function which is being performed, they get higher returns. You can just see, savers, they get higher returns because they always have a choice of depositing the funds or placing their savings either in banks or in the financial markets, wherever they feel the returns will be higher. And the second is the investors. And the investors are the business firms who make productive use of these scarce resources allocated to them for economic development. And in this way, the allocation function is performed. And this process of allocating funds, very, very important. This process of allocating funds from savers to investors through banks or financial market is called financial intermediation. Because banks and financial markets, they are considered as financial intermediaries, and their work is to allocate funds by transferring the funds from the savers to the investors. So this process of transferring funds from savers to investors, that is what is called financial intermediation. Another term which is very, very important. Also, we see that while these funds are being transferred, the savers or the households, they have the choice of using two alternatives. Either, I told you, they can deposit their savings in banks and from there they can get interest, or they can invest in the financial market. in the shares or in the debentures, and in this way they will be getting the returns from investment. So what we see is that there is always an alternative which is provided to the households, and that alternative makes the banks and the financial markets we see as competing market intermediaries. Sometimes it is asked, banks and financial markets, they are competing market intermediaries. Name the market intermediaries. So it is the banks and the financial markets. On the whole, we see that financial market is defined as a market which is for the creation and exchange of financial assets. So this is the definition. And here creation of financial assets means that assets, they are created. That means there is initial issue of shares and debentures. Shares and debentures are the marketable securities, and once it is initial issue of shares and debentures by the business organization, that is what is called creation of financial assets. So financial market creates financial assets, and also there is exchange of financial assets. Exchange means buying and selling. So buying and selling of only those assets which is existing in the financial market, that can only be exchanged. So creation is of new securities, and when we say exchange, that is of existing securities, which is in the form of financial assets. And financial market is a market which deals with both creation and exchange of financial assets. Now, before moving to the functions of financial market, one mark, so many questions may be asked. Name the two sectors of economic system. So two sectors will be household, first sector, and second sector will be the business firm. What do you mean by allocative function and its consequence? The allocative function means it is a process of transferring the funds from the savers to the investors, and this process of transferring funds from the savers to the investors is called financial intermediation, and this process allocates the funds, which has two consequences. For the savers, they get good returns, and for the investors, the requirement of the funds which they need for investment, they get it, which they can utilize it for productive purpose for economic development. So what are the two alternatives or alternative mechanisms in financial market? It may be banks or financial markets, which are competing marketing intermediaries. It may also be asked, name the two competing market intermediaries which operates in the security market. So it will be banks and financial institutions. What is financial market? What is creation of financial assets? What is exchange of financial assets? These concepts should be clear. Now we'll be learning about the functions of financial market. And the first function is financial market helps in mobilizing of savings and channelizing them into the most productive use. So mobilizing savings, whatever savings the households make, that is collected by the financial market, and after collecting that saving, it channelizes them. Channelizes, that means it transfers those savings to the business firms who are in need of funds, who make use of those funds in productive manner for economic development. So financial market, they act as an intermediary of collecting the savings from the households or the savers and transferring it to the investors or the business firms. And in this way, we see that always the financial market performs this very important function by acting as market intermediary. It also has to compete with the banks in this, because the savers, they always have a choice of investing their funds. They can either invest in the market, financial market, in shares and debentures, or they can certainly put their deposits in banks. So in this way, it is very, very important. Second is, it facilitates price discovery. How the price that is determined in the financial market? It is only through the forces of demand and supply that the price that is determined in the financial market. We see that on demand side is the business firms who are the investors, and suppliers are the households who are the savers. And between them is the market intermediary, and market intermediary's role is to link the savers and the investors so that they can fix a price, and it totally depends upon the demand and supply of the securities, of the funds. We see that if the demand is high and the supply is less, then the securities that will be traded in the market at a higher price. And if the demand is less and the supply is more, that means there is more, you may say, savings which is there with the financial market, and it has to provide it to the investors, then it will be providing it at less cost, because always the demand, if the demand is less. So on that basis, on the basis of demand and supply forces, we see that the price can be determined in the financial market. Third is, it provides liquidity to financial assets. An asset is considered to be more liquid if it can be converted into cash. We have learned. And financial markets provides liquidity to financial assets. Why? Because it provides ready market for the investors, and investors, they can certainly make purchase and sale of the securities through the financial market, and in this way we see that liquidity to financial assets is provided by the financial market. Had there been no financial market, it would have been difficult for the investors to you may say find out the sources from where the funds could be raised, because there is ready-made source in the form of financial market which is available for the investors. They can procure the funds directly from the financial market, and in this way we see that after availing the you may say funds, they can also, if they feel like, they can sell the assets in the financial market, and this is possible. That makes it more and more liquid. Fourth, reduce the cost of transactions. As the financial markets provide information readily available to the investors, so we see that there is no loss of time, money and effort by the buyers and sellers. And because as there is ready market available and the information is required, information is easily available, so no loss of time, no loss of money, and very less effort. With very less efforts, the buyers and the sellers, they are linked through the financial market, and there is always a common platform where they can negotiate freely, and that is the financial market. So it reduces the overall cost of transactions which takes place in the financial market. You can imagine, if there was no financial market, all these problems, the buyer and the seller, they would have to find each other, which they don't have to do it. And if they had to find, then there would be so much time taken, so much cost involved in it, so much effort had to be made to find correct buyer and correct seller, and then only the negotiation would take place. But as it is readily available in the market, we see that this search work is not done, and overall it reduces the cost of transaction. With this, we have completed the concept part of financial market, and financial markets are of different types that we will be taking in our next class. Till then, thank you all of you.